welcome to day 5, the last day of our video series on getting good advice for moving to France. So in today's video, I want to talk about who you should hire if you're going to hire a professional. And I've come up with a bunch of questions that I think you should consider when determining who you're going to work with. Now, there are a lot of people who do relocation services for France, who do administrative assistance help for France, and as far as I know, most of them do quite a good job. So, you know, there's no competition for me. It's about who do you feel most comfortable working with? And that answer is going to vary based on your answers to these questions. So certainly do your research, certainly vet multiple professionals, and take these things into account. Now, the first thing you want to take into account is, do they have experience with the visa type that you want to be getting? Do they know about visas at all? Because not all French admin companies do visas. I had a discovery call one time with a potential client who had also booked a discovery call with another company, and got on the call, she started asking them a lot of questions about visas, and was very disappointed to find that they didn't know anything about them and about applying for that particular visa type in the States, and couldn't advise her. And so she was annoyed because she paid for that consultation and then wasn't able to get information. A lot of times, if the companies are geared towards the British, and there are a lot of relocation agencies that are geared specifically towards the British coming to France. There's a big British expat community here. They won't know much about visas because the British, obviously, until now, haven't needed them. You know, that may change in a couple of years, but for now, that's the case. Do they know about taxes and the tax treaty between your home country and France? You know, I've mentioned many times, I am far from a tax expert, but I worked in a CPA firm for about two and a half years. And so I've read the tax treaty, and even though it's not my area of expertise, I have a certain amount of knowledge, and I can help you come up with tax questions that you might not otherwise be able to come up with on both sides of the ocean. Again, if you have a company that's geared more towards British expats, or even a company that works mostly with people who are already in France, they might not have that knowledge and be able to advise you as well. There's a particular colleague I can think of, I'm not going to name names, but who advises people to set up an LLC and get a visitor visa. And that is really dangerous advice, and it shows that, you know, this person has no idea about the tax treaty and what the potential complications are. So if you have a little bit of a complicated situation, you want to make sure that that the person or the firm that you hire can deal with those issues, or at least can recognize what they are and integrate them into you know, your overall visa application and package. Do they have experience with the different consulates and prefectures? Some people work in one localized area. I work remotely with the vast majority of my clients, so I've had clients in several different prefectures all over France. I've had clients in all of the consulates in the US. And I regularly get updated information from all of the consulates, so I'm able to, you know, provide my clients with accurate and up-to-date information. If they only do 1 or 2 visa applications a year at different consulates, then they're not necessarily going to have that same expertise. What nationalities do they typically work with? What's their success rate? Americans tend to get visas pretty easily because the French want, it's a diplomatic issue, and the French want to be able to get visas to the US easily. And since the more visas they give out to Americans, the more visas the US is likely to give out to the French. You know, the happier everybody is, and the better the diplomatic relationship continues. So, so working with somebody who has experience with your nationality, especially if it isn't American, can give you insight into the acceptance rates and the processing times for people of your nationality. Are they informing you and giving you an action plan before you hire them and before you give them money? I know there are some people who will say, yes, I can help you with that. Here's the fee. Here's the fee for my retainer, and then we'll get started. And for you, the client, I can see why that puts you in a situation of insecurity, not knowing what the process is going to be before you even get started, not knowing how long it's going to take, not knowing what the steps are going to be. And so when I talk to my clients on a free discovery call, what I do is I outline what the procedure is going to be and approximately what the timeline is going to be for getting a particular visa. So you want to make sure that you have that information and know what the process is going to be before before you fork over some money. How do they charge? Do they charge an hourly rate? Is their service all inclusive? What happens if your visa gets denied? Or what happens if you want to cancel the contract? What's their personality like? Will you always be dealing with one person, or will you be dealing with a team? Who's going to be your main contact? Do you like that person? Does that person make you more anxious and worried about the outcome and make it seem more difficult and more complicated? Or do they try to reassure you and explain it to you and make it accessible and straightforward? The latter way is how I prefer to do it. It's not easy, but it's not rocket science either. And the more that you are informed and aware about the situation, I feel the less anxious you're going to be and the more smoothly the whole process is going to go. How do you feel when you're interacting with them? And are you hiring somebody out of fear or out of faith? Do you trust them? Are you hiring them because you think that you can't do it without them, or are you hiring them because you believe that they can put you on the best possible path for success? Do you like talking to them? Do you find them interesting? Do you feel like they care about you and are invested in your outcome and your dreams? Because ultimately, if you have a person or a team of people who are working alongside you and who are really invested in you getting the life you want in France, that is going to make things so much better for you. And honestly, it's going to make your dream become a reality so much more easily. So that is day 5, and thank you for watching this video series. Feel free to pass it along to anybody you know who might be interested in moving to France. I'm Allison Lunes, and I have one more video for you tomorrow, so please do take a look at that.
Hey, this is Allison Grant Lunes. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you learned something about living in France and were inspired about pursuing your own Franceformation. Do you want to learn how you can get the right visa and create your dream life in France? Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and to the Profiles in Franceformation podcast for more inspiring stories about people who made their Franceformation a reality, and for more tips and tricks on how to make your Franceformation happen for you. If you want to learn more about what visa is right for you and how to pursue your Franceformation, you can check out my book, Foolproof French Visas, which goes over basically every single way that you can possibly move to France. It's available as an ebook or in paperback on Amazon, and it will help you identify the right visa for you and prepare a successful application. Or if you'd like my personal help with applying for your visa and moving to France, you can go to www.yourfranceformation.com/free-call to request a free 30-minute Franceformation clarity call with me about how I can help you to make your dream a reality and get started on helping you to move to France. Thanks again for watching, and à bientôt.